Hello everybody. There is one aspect of the earth which is unique in terms of importance, much talked about in discussions and forums, has been the center of contention and subsequent policy makings. This sphere is hugely assisted and sustained by the other three spheres of the earth. About such a sphere we will see in this video. Do subscribe to my channel, and if you like this video then hit the like button. The Earth encompasses spheres such as the lithosphere, atmosphere, hydrosphere and the biosphere. In this segment, we will get to know about biosphere. The vertical range of the biosphere extends to the troposphere, which is some 20 kilometers above the Earth's surface. However, most plants and animals of the biosphere live in a very narrow range of about 1 kilometer above and 1 kilometer below the surface. These are some of the things we see in our kitchens. Though they are different in appearance and have different names, they are collectively referred to as kitchen utensils. A group of animals different in appearance and names, yet they have some similar qualities among them. And here is another group of animals with some common attributes among them. By these familiar similarities among them, we infer that a group of animals are plants if they can breed together or reproduce naturally, then these animals are grouped together and called a species. A tiger, a crocodile, can they mate and reproduce naturally? Of course not, because they belong to two different species. And when different species of animals, plants, etc. live and multiply in an environment, then that environment is referred to as their habitat. A monitor, a CPU, a keyboard, a mouse. When different equipments work in tandem to make a work done, we call it a system. Likewise, various species of plants and animals, the habitat they live in, together with the non-living things such as water, minerals, etc., is clubbed together and called an ecosystem. What exactly happens in an ecosystem? Well, the living organisms interact with the non-living things for their sustenance and reproduction. The various components that make an ecosystem are biotic, abiotic and energy components. First, the abiotic components. It chiefly consists of the non-living elements that other living beings in an ecosystem interact with. Biotic components refer to all the living things found in an ecosystem. The ones that have the ability to produce their own food are called the producers, example, trees, plants, etc. The ones that depend on the producers for their food and nourishment are called consumers, and consumers that live by eating the plants are called primary consumers. Animals that prey upon the primary consumers such as the deer, bison, etc. are called secondary consumers. Certain animals and birds prey upon both plant-eating herbivorous and flesh-eating carnivorous. Those animals are called tertiary consumers. Some organisms live upon the dead and decaying matter for their nourishment. Such are called decomposers, and they can be viewed only through a microscope. Biotic components can be classified into producers, consumers and decomposers. Consumers are further classified into primary, secondary and tertiary consumers. The driving force behind a vibrant ecosystem is its energy component. The ultimate source of energy in an ecosystem is the sun. The plants and trees, with the help of sunlight, prepare their own food and subsequently become food for primary consumers. Primary consumers are eaten up by flesh-eating secondary consumers. And these secondary consumers, when they die, are eaten up by the worms and insects in the soil. And whatever dies or decays on the ground are finally decomposed by these microorganisms. And these microorganisms in the soil later become a source of energy for the producers. Thus, every species present in an ecosystem derives energy both from the sun as well as from other organisms. This interlocking dependence of one species over another for their food is referred to as food web. What happens when you remove a part of a car? It collapses. The same things happens with nature too. Loss of biodiversity. When we cut down the trees, the insects which live on it for food and shelter dies. The lizards that feed on these insects naturally vanishes. The birds and animals perish, all because of one species. You guessed right. Do not cut trees. Next, all the ecosystems found on Earth are generally grouped into biomes. What are biomes? A biome is an extensive ecosystem with a large habitat and an even larger variety of species. Biomes can be classified into two, one terrestrial biome and another aquatic biome. This world map will clearly explain where exactly these biomes exist. The region between 10 degrees north and 10 degrees south experiences very high temperature. As a result, this region has very dense forests. This is the tropical forest biome. The region between 10 degrees and 20 degrees on either side of the equator experiences hot and dry climate. Rainfall they receive is moderate to low. It is called the tropical savanna biome. Desert biome. It is found on the western margins of the continents between 20 degrees to 30 degrees on either side of the equator. The annual rainfall is less than 25 centimeters. As a result, there is little or no vegetation there. The region between 60 to 70 degrees on either side of the equator is called the tundra biome. As you can see, it is found around the poles. The region between tundra biome and the desert biome, we see the temperate grassland biome. Found mostly in the interiors of the continents, they have warm summers and cold winters. We will see more about the terrestrial biomes. Tropical forest biomes. Ecosystems found in these regions experience high temperatures and high rainfall. Consequently, it is very rich in biodiversity. Tropical savanna biomes. Ecosystems found in this region experience hot climate. As most are found far away from the coast, they receive moderate to low rainfall. They are found mostly on the western margins of continents. And the rainfall they receive is very less. Temperate grassland biomes found in the interiors of continents. Here summers are warm and winters are cold. Tundra biome. Winters are long and cold, whereas summers are short but cool. Land remains frozen with very little vegetation. We've already seen that there are two types of biomes. Of them, the aquatic biome can be divided into freshwater biome and saltwater biome. Of the total waters on Earth, 3% is freshwater and the remaining saltwater. Marine biome, as we see, is the largest aquatic biome and naturally sustaining a comparable amount of living organisms. Freshwater biome include the ponds, rivers, and the living beings such as the fishes, turtles, lotuses, weeds, etc. The numerous ecosystems in the biomes, sustaining an innumerable number of species, deserves consideration. Indiscriminate felling of trees and dumping of wastes will only harm the environment. By safeguarding the oceans and its surroundings, and by planting more trees, we could provide a better future for our children. Thank you.